So, quarter four, my most favourite time of year, and that is exactly why we're here to talk about it, to talk about how we can really maximise it, especially sitting in that food and drink space, if you're a gifting product, and how you can maximise those online sales. Now, I know I've got a few people that are going to be catching up on replay. But regardless of whether you're with us live, you're catching up on replay. I'm hoping this is going to be really, really valuable. It's about giving you those clear, practical strategies that are going to help you grow those food and drink brands and make sure that quarter four is your most profitable year yet. It is the most competitive time. It's when you have to spend the most money on ads. It's when you have to be really sharp with your marketing. And hopefully today is going to help you answer some of those questions. And it's really, really going to help you know exactly where to drill down. It's an overwhelming time of year. I think that's really fair to say. I think it's a time where brands don't know which way to turn. They can see their competitors doing one thing and they think, oh my goodness, I need to jump on this, and TikTok being a great example. But what I'm here to say is if you lay those foundations, it's really, really, really easy to understand which ones you can scale with, which ones you can turn up, which ones you can turn off. So I want it to be interactive. I know I can see a few of your faces, and some of you I can't. I hope it's useful. If there's anything you want to pop in the chat along the way, please do, and I'll get to them at the end. And we can hopefully run through them together. If not, we can talk outside of this. Just drop me a DM. So a little bit about who I am, for those of you that don't know me. So I'm Kate, founder of KW Marketing, and we are on a mission to become the UK's #1 food and drink digital agency. And we work with ambitious brands just like you guys. And it's all about scaling authentically, but most importantly, profitably. I think there is such a sort of wool in the marketing industry at the moment around, oh, it's fluffy, it doesn't work. But I'm here to tell you that if you do it properly, marketing should be increasing your bottom line, and that's when it really, really works. So Q4 is super, super overwhelming. And there's so much pressure to show up to make sure that you drive those sales. So we're here today to cut through that noise, to show you what's working, and hopefully give you a focused plan going into quarter four. Now, we've worked with some fantastic brands, and I've just put some of them there. Some of them you might know, some of them you might not know. Some of them might be you in the room. I know I've got some clients on here as well. So we really, really live and breathe this space. We are massive foodies, and we absolutely know what works. So let's get going, because I've got so much I want to cover. We might run a little bit over, but yeah, any questions, drop them in the chat. So quarter four is make or break, and it is not the time to wing it or to hope for the best. So if you want results, you need a plan, and that sounds really simple, but that's what we're hopefully going to build here today. So I hope you've all got a notepad, a pen, write notes on your laptop, whichever way suits you. But this is why you need to get quarter four right, and this is how much is on the table if you do get it right. So 30 to 50% of annual sales happen in quarter four, but only if you plan for them. Now, the way we plan for that is doing that strategy, looking at those channels, thinking, oh, I'm not just going to do another email and another social post. It's drilling into, why am I doing those things? Are they working for my brand? And are they bringing sales into our business? So I want to do a quick check-in. I want you to drop a yes in the chat if you've already started thinking about quarter four. I've got a few yeses. Love that. And I know we're in July, quarter four starts in October, but most brands should be thinking about quarter four, and it's about making sure that you put that plan in place and you don't get that overwhelm when you get to the 1st of October and go, Christmas is in 2 months, I haven't got anything ready. I don't know what plans and posts I'm putting out. I don't know what emails I'm sending. And I don't want you to feel that I don't know where to start. Last year just got so busy. I had to pack products. I had to be in the kitchen. I had to make something to get it out the door. It's about planning. It's about being strategic. And brands that plan and show up early with a clear campaign and a clear strategy, they're the ones who finish the year strong. Now, we had a client who turned off their delivery date on the 9th of December last year, From a production perspective, they couldn't get anything else out of the door. But for them, it was massive because it meant that they left so much money on the table. So it's about planning for that, and it's about planning now. So what does the landscape look like in Q4 for 2025? So it's shifting. It is totally shifting. Shoppers are starting earlier, ad costs are rising, and attention spans are shorter than ever. We're all on our mobile, we're all going through, there's so many scrolls, there's so many notifications. So it's noisier, it's more expensive, and it's really hard to stand out. So being early, being strategic, puts you in a better room for growth going into Q4. But here's what that means for your content and your campaigns, because that's the most important part. So here's what you're up against, okay? So 40% of shoppers start gift buying before November. Now that sounds crazy, because if somebody said to me, Kate, you're going to buy a Christmas present before November, I'd be like, no, I'm not. But if you're not visible early, you can risk your customers having already spent their money elsewhere. Meta ad costs are up 18% year on year. So that's Facebook and Instagram posts, which means that you're paying more to reach the same people. Your creatives need to convert fast. Now that's thinking about the buttons on them. Do they say shop now? Are they top of funnel ads where it's that sort of discovery stage where people haven't heard of you before? They need to understand what your brand can do for them. And then you go into that conversion stage of, okay, so they already know me and this ad is about getting them to purchase. So different types of ads based on where they are in the funnel, but up 18%. So we need to make sure that your creatives are converting people. And there's really great ways to do that. So you can test different creatives within Meta. You can see which audiences are working better. Number 3 on there, so email open rates are down. So your emails are competing with 10 times more brands, which means only the best get clicked. Now, I'm a massive email fan, and for me, when you're immersed into a brand and you love a brand, you are so much more likely to open their emails. But open rates across the board are down. So it's really, really important that you are engaging with your loyal customer base. You are nurturing them, especially at this time of year before you get into Q4, before it gets really, really busy, because then they're more likely to open them when you get into that peak season. And just the last one on the list, so consumers' attention is fractured. So people are scrolling fast, shopping in short bursts, and only engaging with what feels relevant. So this is not the time to be reactive. It's the time to be ready for your shoppers. And again, there's lots we can talk about when we think about that. So how is your website? Is your website ready for your customers to visit? Is your website quick enough? So is there anything that's going to stop them once they land on your website? So you might pay for them via an ad, they might get to your website. Is there something that's going to stop them when they land on that website that's going to get them to convert and to check out? So the game has changed. It's up its ante. Every year it will be upping its ante. And the brands that win, they're not the loudest, they're not the biggest. And that's something that we massively focus on at KW Marketing. We work with small to medium-sized businesses that are growing. And it's really, really important because the ones that start early, that are consistent across that time and focus on what works, and that's really, really key, are the ones that do really, really well. And I've got some examples of that later on that I'm going to share with you. So at the end of every point, I've got an action point, and this is where I want you guys to start. So my action point for that is start now. Q4 prep begins now. It doesn't start in September. It doesn't start in October. It starts now. So map out your cutoff dates. Choose one product to focus your key gifting campaign around, and create one paid ad and one email that matches, and start now. Start now. Basically, start now. Don't wait. I know summer's coming. Everybody's thinking about kids on holiday and half term and everything like that. Start now. So number 2, cut the chaos. So again, I see this so much. Most brands are wasting time, money, and energy somewhere. You might be on your own in a marketing department. You might be a founder. You might have a team. You might have a full marketing team. But I can tell you that it is a fact that most brands are wasting time, money, or energy somewhere with their marketing. And it's all about cutting through the noise of, what is that? Is it posting without a plan? Is it launching campaigns without alignment across the board, thinking about that multi-channel approach? Is it being reactive in the moment instead of driving revenue with purpose? Because otherwise that's how you fall into those traps. It's when you're thinking about, okay, so I'm going to put a post out on this campaign. I've had this really good idea, but actually, is that campaign joined up on email? If someone visits my website, does that look the same? If they join me on social, is that the same? Make sure that you're thinking from a multi-channel approach. Make sure that you're cutting through that noise, and make sure you aren't wasting your time, money, resource, and energy where it shouldn't be spent. So here are some of those common mistakes that I see year after year after year in Q4. So scrambling to post last minute, again, we've all totally been there. We're thinking about, oh, I've got a campaign I need to get out. My last delivery date is this date. We need to tell customers about this, and it's just that rush. So no strategy equals no results. And if you're too reactive, you aren't revenue and strategy driven, okay? I'm not saying in Q4 with Black Friday and you're thinking about Christmas that you can't be reactive, because you naturally will have to be, but try and stop that scrambling to post last minute. Really, really important. Number 2 is probably my favorite, discounting in a panic. So you slash a price because nothing's working. It's harming profit and your brand value if you do that. So this is why planning now is really important. And it could be as simple as mapping out the next 3 months, thinking about what does that look like for the next 3 months. Am I going to do a discount in November, September at the beginning to get people doing an early bird buy, booking their Christmas delivery slots, or am I going to do it later down the line? Again, think about what that discounting and promo looks like. It might even not be right for your brand. That discounting might not be right with your brand values. Again, every brand is different. Number 3, unaligned channels. So emails talk about one thing, Instagram another, and ads target random people. Again, really, really important. Think about your overarching strategy. Be multi-channel. Think about if somebody walks into a room and they see you, is it going to be the same as on your website? Is it going to be the same as on your Instagram? Really, really important. Content with no conversion goal. So shouting into a void, no link, no CTA, no structure. Again, you can do things on Instagram like comment the word growth, for example. It might be using your Instagram stories. That's a really great way of getting social content to be interactive. Use the stickers, use the countdowns, use the timers, and just look at how you can get that content to convert. And no Black Friday build up. So Black Friday is still huge, regardless of what's said in the industry. It is a massive, massive shopping season. And it's more than just a day. It's really, really important to say that. So it's not just thinking about Black Friday, it's thinking about Cyber Monday. Is it a Black Friday weekend deal? If you're a brand that it doesn't quite align with, could you do a Green Friday? Just think about, from a brand value perspective, what does Black Friday mean to you? How can you lean into one of those seasons? And how can you really lean into driving sales and increasing that revenue piece? And think about, what are your competitors doing? If they're doing it, you need to be doing something, because your audience will be warm at that time. They will be looking for actually what's going on in that space. Oh, I need something to solve my pain problem, even if it's coffee, even if it's something yummy like popcorn. But it's how can you solve that problem with your product, but make sure you're doing something to show up for your customer. Now, the action point for that is write down one mistake that you've made, and I've made so many of them over the years from a marketing perspective, and set a plan for how you'll avoid it this year. So think about one mistake that you made last year in Q4 and how this year you're not going to do the same thing again. So it sounds really simple, but it's super, super powerful, because if you identify one mistake and you decide how you'll approach it differently this year, it will shift your entire Q4. So it's always about learning with marketing. It's always about reading the data. It's always about understanding your customers. Because brands that start Q4 planning now will see a 30% higher conversion rate. So it isn't early, it's the right time to set up your Q4, and it's the right time to think about what you're doing in Q4 from a marketing perspective. So number 3, thinking about your Q4 game plan. So thinking about how you're going to use strategies, how you're actually going to approach Q4. And I'm going to walk you through exactly what to do to make your Q4 super, super profitable. And again, if you've got any questions when I walk through this bit, just drop them in the chat for me. So, quarter 4 plan to drive sales. So, one campaign, multi channel, which I will keep repeating, and it's revenue focused. Okay. So, what to send? Emails, paid ads, organic content should echo the same campaign idea. Don't make them totally different, make them the same. Customers need to see the message multiple times over. Those algorithms are working, but they're changing so quickly that you need to make sure that if somebody sees a post, every time they see you again, they're being echoed that more than once as well. I think 3, 4, 5 times. So think about what happens when a customer sees your post. Are they then going to go to your website and buy? Probably not. They're going to see your post. They're going to be in that discovery stage. They're going to go to your website to find out a little bit more about you, and then it's going to roll from there. So just make sure that you're really consistent across that board. So when to send it? Think in phases. So don't think structured dates. Think about and in that funnel phase again. So how to build interest. So teasers. Again, if Christmas is coming, if delivery slots are there, if you're opening the gates for Christmas orders, think about how you can use teasers to entice your audience into that really seasonal moment. Then do a launch campaign. So again, if we think about Christmas, think about, okay, so I'm going to tease my audience. This is going to be, oh, Christmas is coming. Make sure you keep your eyes out. Then do the launch. Christmas is here. We'd love you to order from us. And then think about how you can get more traffic on what you're doing. So that's where we look at things like ads. That's where we look at things like emails. So using your existing database, which is always going to be the warmest database, and then using ads, i.e., casting a wider net on your audience to get more eyeballs on it. And then number 4 is urgency to ramp it up. So again, really good ways to do that is thinking about deadlines, countdown timers in emails, and just really driving that urgency to purchase. Again, Instagram stories are a great way of doing countdowns. So what to skip? Anything that doesn't drive, okay? So understanding, sales, lead generation, repeat purchases. If a post doesn't move the needle, rework it or cut it. And that sounds so silly, but I think going into 2025, it's thinking about not polished content. Get the content out there and learn from it. If it doesn't work, pull it back. Think about how you can retweak it. Is it talking to my ideal customer? If it isn't, then rework it, because the likelihood is the creative might be great, but actually you might need to rework the copy in there instead, for example. But when everything is working together, again, the consistency of multi-channel, that's when those sales really come in. So my action plan off that for you guys is, before you plan, review. Okay, so what worked last year? What didn't work last year? Where did your sales actually come from? And I'm talking about, are your sales coming from SEO? Are your sales coming from email? Are your sales coming from ads? And really look at what is driving revenue in your business, because it is so pointless building a new plan, a new strategy with last year's mistakes. So make sure you map out that time to go through last year. Look at your website traffic as well. That's a really good indicator to where those spikes are. At what point does your audience come onto your website? At what point is there more traffic going onto your website? And how can you really capitalize on that? So take a pause, review it, and build a plan from real data. And that's really important. So content that converts. Every post, every email, every ad is part of your sales machine. And marketing and sales are so closely aligned, so closely aligned. And it's really important that, again, that funnel, so you're thinking about your customer in that journey, where are they in their headspace, that it all is built to convert, especially in quarter 4, really important. So buyers, not browsers. So think about repetition, education, strong call to actions. Help move your audience from interest, so that discovery stage, to action, okay? So i.e. converting and buying. Every message should nudge them one step closer. So I might be Kate Williams, I might see a brand, might see a popcorn brand. I might then go and Google them. I might visit their website. I'll go onto their website and think, that looks great, but I'm not quite ready to purchase that. Might fill in their pop-up that comes up on their website. I'm in their email database. So how from now until October, November, can Popcorn Kitchen, which is a client of ours as a brand, nurture that person, Kate Williams, to want to convert when we get into Q4? And that's when you think about how can you really, really immerse your customer and make them feel important, and think about things like, and again, I've got some good examples in a minute about gift guides, promotional sort of activities to hook them in. Again, really, really important that you're making them buyers, not browsers. So the second one on there, repeat the CTA. So familiarity builds trust. If they've seen the offer once, great. If they've seen it 3 times, that's even better. Repeat the call to action across all of your channels and formats. It isn't annoying, it's smart, because not everybody's going to see it all the time. Not everybody's on Instagram every 5 minutes, unless you're me. But not everybody is going to be on there all the time seeing every post. Again, those algorithms are really, really tricky. If you think about emails, some might go in junk, some might not. They might not check their emails every day. So just make sure you are repeating that call to action. And then number 3, conversion journey. So 1 post doesn't make a sale, but 5 posts that build trust, answer questions. And again, questions are really important in Q4 because it's showing that you're immersed into that customer. What are they asking us? How can we answer that question? How can we be really, really helpful to them? And create that urgency, okay? So think about your content. Again, really important. It's not just social content, it's email content, it's ad content, and they should all be talking to each other. So choose 1 email, 1 ad, 1 post that you're going to align this month and that's going to help from a Q4 perspective. So make sure all 3 share the same core message or offer. Repeat your CTA in all 3 places because consistency builds conversions. And if you're not sure what to say, start with your best sellers always. That is absolutely the place to start. And if you get them working together this month, you're already going to be ahead going into Q4 because you're nurturing them, you're warming them up. So what to create? So strategic content for every stage of the journey, okay? So, and I've got some examples in here. Email, gift guides, delivery, cut-off reminders, VIP early access for Black Friday. Emails are an absolutely fantastic tool. I fly the flag for it because it's so good from a revenue perspective. Really easy to quantify from point A to point B. So a really good way of getting your audience to convert because you can track it as well. Organic social media, so think about your product USPs, behind the scenes content. Again, that is absolutely fantastic. And your users will love to see that there's a person behind the brand. And again, going into Q4, don't hide behind your brand. Be a person because people buy from people. Think about your FAQs, your reviews, your stock updates. So if something goes out of date, how do you communicate that to your customer? Do you do it via email? Do you do it via social? If something comes back in stock, have you got an automatic email campaign that goes out to them to tell them it's back in stock? Paid ads, so retargeting with social proof, so user-generated content and reviews. How can you show people and show your potential customer that people love you already? That's where user-generated content and reviews really, really shines. Again, countdown timers and urgency messaging. And then products in use. So think about demos, think about showing people what your product does. And again, I keep using Popcorn Kitchen as a really good example, but they have a product which is called a pop at home. So it's all about making your popcorn at home, and it's got instructions. But for them, doing a product in use demo is really, really great from an ad perspective because it's showing people how to use their product. And it's difficult to do that when you're in a digital space. So it's a really, really good way to do it. Use video content, again, works really, really well. So if your content doesn't answer, why should I buy this right now? It's not doing its job. And it really, really helps removing someone closer to purchasing. If it doesn't, tweak it, tighten it, cut it, and re-go again. So action point from that, choose 1 hero product, focus your Q4 content around, draft an email highlighting that product as a gift idea, plan 3 social posts. So whether that's 1 value, so what is the product, one behind the scenes, so us using the products or having, I don't know, having a joke with the product. Again, it really depends what your product is. And one urgency driven post. Okay, so last delivery dates, it's running out of stock, whatever that might be, we're running a sale on it. And then launch one ad to drive traffic to the product page. Now, without getting lost in ads, because that's a whole topic in itself, think about your ads. So you can do traffic ads, which is volume to your website. You can do conversion ads, which is getting people to purchase. Two different types. Again, both really, really powerful going into quarter four. And just remember, email drives 20 to 30% of total revenue for most food and drink brands in quarter four. So if you aren't at that 20 to 30%, you absolutely need to be. And if you aren't, then let's have a conversation about it, because I'm sure there are some simple tweaks that you could be doing to your email to make sure it's working for you. So I guess the last point to touch on is, does it really work, Kate? Is what you're saying absolutely what I need to be doing as a brand? And I'm here to tell you that yes, it does work, and starting early is really, really important. So here's what it looks like. I've spoken about Popcorn Kitchen a lot, but this is a really good example. So Popcorn Kitchen have been a long client of ours. They subscribed, their subscribed audience growth wasn't keeping pace with their brand growth. So they were here, there, and everywhere. Louise goes to every trade show. She's so fantastic at sharing her wonderful product and her wonderful brand, but the audience growth wasn't catching up with that. So it was about how could we grow that database and grow the audience as much as she was growing that brand and that brand value piece. The other challenge we had was cutting through that quarter four inbox noise. And it is so noisy in quarter four. So here's what we did. We collaborated with complementary brands to grow their audience. And we thought as a consumer and sent genuinely helpful value-adding emails in quarter four. So that's not just saying we sent a 10% discount. That's not just saying we sent a 50% discount, whatever that might be. Value-adding, like what is your consumer thinking in quarter four? How can your content bridge that gap? And the results seriously spoke for themselves, and we're super, super proud of it. So 289% revenue growth, 93% of customers were new customers, which is an incredible result because they grew their database. They got so many new eyeballs on their brand, and a 554% email list growth. And again, absolutely incredible results. So here's what that looks like from a practical perspective, okay? And some of the tactics that we used for them. So think about bundling products. So how can you bundle your products to increase your AOV? So how can you take one product that might be worth £5, bundle it together, and increase that average order value on your website? And that's thinking about bundles. You don't have to overcomplicate it on your website, okay? So it's just simply putting those products together when you're shipping it, but when you're marketing it, it's called a bundle on your website. Seasonal gift guides. Again, everybody loves a gift guide. I sit there, I don't know what to buy for Christmas, for my friends, for my family, for my husband, whoever it might be. Gift guides are a great way of bridging that gap for your consumer. It's a great way of saying, this is for friends, this is for teenagers, whatever that might be. And then in the middle is that data capture piece, okay? So looking at running collaborative giveaways with a brand who has a larger audience than you, so a larger email database than you, and then making sure it's an email competition. So you're going to collect data, you're going to add it to your database. Both brands are increasing their database, and you share it via socials. Again, a really, really good tactic for growing your database. So has anyone tried something similar to bundling or giveaways to help them boost sales? I know some of you guys in here aren't all branded D2C products, but anybody run any giveaways that's helped with increasing your database? Just pop a yes in the chat so that I can see. Amazing. And again, just DM me after this, because I would love to hear the types of collaborations that you guys are doing. Again, really, really important. And I'd love to see what's actually working. Is it promoting via socials? Is it promoting to your email database? Is it putting an ad on to get more eyeballs onto it? So your action point from that, okay, collaborate and capture. Think, who do you already know? The likelihood is you've got a massive black book already. Reach out to brands that align with yours. with a win-win idea. So think about how you can tie, I don't know, popcorn in with hot chocolate, whatever it might be, and collaborate with a giveaway that drives email signups and not just likes, because likes are a vanity metric and email signups will drive revenue in Q4. So you only might be giving away one prize, 2 brands, double the audience, and 0 ad spend unless you boost the post or get an ad pushing it to it. And it really helps build a list going into Q4, which means more eyeballs. Again, so Cornish cheese case study. So they were lacking consistency. The flows weren't optimized. And they were lacking in that profit piece, okay? So they had flows on, they were sending email campaigns, they were like 50% off, and they were just drip feeding their base with massive, heavily discounted campaigns, maybe 2, 3 a year, really, really limited. So we revamped their flows, and we looked at their cross-channel strategy with an aim to grow their D2C, okay? So their online presence, really, really important. And their results, and I've just whizzed through that, but their results were really, really impressive. So 52% revenue growth, 46% email revenue growth, 10 times return on ad spend on Meta. And again, there were different tactics we did in there as well. So we did run their paid campaigns for them as well. And I've just popped in TikTok followers, because if you haven't, you need to go and check out Cornish Cheese on TikTok. They are flying. And it's all about behind the scenes content. So that's a fantastic example of how behind the scenes content can really, really help with your audience and getting them immersed into your brands. So here's some examples of activities that we did for the Cornish Cheese Co. Okay, so browse abandonment flow, and that's thinking about when a customer has viewed a product, not added it to their basket, you follow up and you say, here's what you liked. Now, it could be a little bit freaky, but the results speak for themselves. 75% open rate, 20% click rate, really, really good. Anniversary flow, it's been a year since your first purchase. How special does that make you feel? And again, 65% open rate, 15% click rate. It's all about those moments in the customer journey, how you can reward them, and how you can really, really drill into that personalization. And again, personalization is really, really key. And I've just popped in the middle. So if you use a platform like Klaviyo, so you can see campaigns in there, you can see flows in there, and you can separate what's working, what's not, what's the increase on that, what's not. So my action point off that is review your email flows. The likelihood is, and I've just seen Will's comment, which I'll come to at the end, the likelihood is the majority of you have got a welcome flow set up, which is absolutely fantastic. But what I'm saying to you is go beyond the welcome flow. Think outside of that box. What can you do for your customers? Again, if you're in that B2B world, okay, so you might be a food and drink brand, you might be working with wholesale, you might be in trade, you might be wanting to communicate to that part of your audience. Think about them as well. What point and moment in time are they, and how can you use your email automation to touch in at the right times in their customer journey? Long gone are the days of having to do manual sends to 200, 300, 400 people. Use an email automation or use a flow to do the heavy lifting for you. And especially when things get busy, I know so well in Q4, it is so, so busy. You do not want to be doing that heavy lifting during that time. So start now, test, tweak, and watch them perform when the pressure's on. So I've absolutely rattled through that, but here's what we've talked about and what we've covered. Really light touch, but hopefully it's triggered lots of ideas in your head. So why Q4 matters more than ever. Think about that 30 to 50% of sales. What's changed this year that you need to prepare for? So that's things like rising ad costs. That's things like open rates are down. Again, really, really important to make note of that. The mistakes that we see brands making, and again, that's going all in on platforms that aren't driving revenue. Revenue is so important in Q4. Do not leave money on that table. The strategies that actually work, so that's thinking about competitions, bundling, gift guides, emails, ads. Think about it from a multi-channel perspective and how you can use it across the board. and really drill into what works for your brand, and then real life examples. And it's really, really important that that's in there, because I can tell you what's great, but it's important that it actually works. And that's really, really key. So I am super passionate about helping food and drink brands and maximizing quarter four. I think it's my favorite time of the year. I go into a little hibernation before quarter four hits, because I just know how busy it is when we get to quarter four. And it's really important that every activity you're doing is strategic. Yes, you are going to have to be reactive, but just think about, I know you guys are all going to be so busy in quarter four, so plan as much as you can now, okay? So if you want to keep learning and you think today has really helped you, because I'm hoping that you've all taken something away, and if you haven't, I'm going to send around the slide deck so you can go through it in your own time as well. We have practical tools that can help you with that next step. And I'm all about finding solutions and ways that you guys can use, because everybody is totally different in their journey. Everybody is at different point in their business. And we have so much insight to give and knowledge to share. And it's really, really important that I can give you that. So we are running a Q4 growth roundtable in London in September, okay? So that's taking everything that we've talked about today, quarter four, thinking about mapping out your strategy and your plan, which I hope you're going to walk away today and start mapping out what quarter four looks like. And this is where we're going to go through those plans. It's where we're going to build a really structured plan together in a room. I've got 12 seats available. I would love some of you guys to join us. It's going to be a round table of ideas, insights, picking my brain around what works, what doesn't work, okay? Pressure testing campaign plans. So if you've put one together and you want to come to the round table and say, Kate, this is what I've put together. What do you think? Do you think it'll work? There is your time to do it, okay? So 11th of September, I've got limited seats. I've got 12 seats only. £97 per person, and I've just popped a QR code there that you can scan and you can sign up. If again you missed this slide and you want to talk to me about it a little bit more, DM me on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn as well. But that is your chance to really pressure test your quarter four plan. Again, make sure you grab your spot, because seats are super, super limited. Now, not all of you are in London, and I'm really, really aware of that. We're Southwest based, absolutely advocate the Southwest. But I do want to tell you about our food marketing club if you're not in it already. So our food marketing club is a monthly membership, but it's all about scaling smarter, okay? So if you're in your early growth phase and you're thinking about showing up on social, sending emails, packing orders, you're trying to figure out what actually moves the needle, you need to join our food marketing club. Every month we have a topic. Naturally, we're going into that quarter four and thinking about what quarter four should be doing. There's monthly masterclasses in there with me. There's training sessions in there, resources, templates, thinking about Instagram story templates. And my team works super, super hard, again, to make sure that we get things in there that are of value to you, that you are going to be able to use. And if that's not enough, we've got a private LinkedIn group as well, where we've got loads of other founders in there, where that conversation around real challenges is happening. And again, I'm a real advocate for quarter four's busy. Let's stick together. Let's learn from each other, and let's make it our best one yet, because it is more competitive than ever. So there's a special offer at the moment, 3-month membership, which is £57 per month, and it's less than half price. So again, I've just popped a scan there. So it's really thinking about how you can use those resources, learn in your own time, because it's without that big price tag of saying, Kate, I really need your support all the time. It's just thinking about how can you do it in your own time. Right, I've seen a few questions in the chat and I'm going to rattle through them, but I'm going to start with Will, okay? So Will, basic 10% discount, pop up on our site, but looking for similar brands to collaborate with. If anybody has any products that work well, please send me a message. So Will, I've got loads I can send you. I know I briefly caught up with you, but I've got loads of brands I could send you from a partnership perspective. I think the key point I want to mention there is thinking about when you're doing those partnerships and those collaborations, make sure you ask the golden question, how big is your database before you do it? Because what you do not want to do is partner with a brand who have got a smaller database than you. So make sure you ask that key question, okay? And then I've just seen John, so Miles Tea and Coffee, a very good one for you to partner with. Anybody else got a question really, really quickly? If not, again, catch me wherever you can on any social channels. Obviously, we're everywhere. But I just want to finish with, if you haven't already, we've got our food marketing podcast, which we've had some fantastic brands on there. We've got Bold Bean Co. We've got Little's Coffee. We have Kathy from Boundless. And we've also got some podcasts in there where we're talking about socials, emails. We'll be doing a quarter 4 one as well. So just make sure you listen to it, because it is us giving you that value. It's us telling you everything that we know. Again, I want you guys to fly in quarter 4. I want it to be your best quarter 4 ever. So if you want founder stories, please check out our podcast. It's got so much practical advice in there as well. And it's a good one to check out. So it's on Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to your podcasts. And thank you so, so much. We're a little bit over, but there is a lot to rattle through. And again, any questions, just please let me know. And Will's just jumped in with another one. Would you recommend meta ads for email audience building? Any other recommend? Yes, Will, I absolutely would recommend it. Okay, so think about turning on ads. So again, you've got a traffic ad or you've got a conversion ad, 2 different types of ads. If you're thinking about building your email audience, I would highly recommend putting on a traffic ad, which is that top of funnel. It's cheaper as well from a meta perspective. It means you get more eyeballs on your website. Then your pop-up will trigger. Okay, so you send it to your homepage with your pop-up, and then hopefully your email list will then grow. There are lots of parameters that go into that. So again, think about, is your website slow? Are you going to lose people at any point? Is there any friction in their journey on your website? But from a really simplistic form, yes, they absolutely work. Traffic ads work really, really well. But hopefully that answers your question. Love the podcast. Highly recommend to others. Thanks, Will. Amazing. Fantastic. Right. I'm going to stop there. Hopefully that was really useful. Hopefully you've got some bits to take away. My last line to you, quarter 4, let's make it the biggest one. Let's focus on activities that drive revenue. Let's make sure that you guys have got a plan as well. And I'd love to see some of you at our roundtable in September. Thank you very much. Bye.